Hi everyone, welcome to the second Quincy Railroad shelf layout update video, HO scale Quincy Railroad that I'm building. Gotten a lot done the past week or so. Most notably the backdrop is up. This is a photographic backdrop from Train Junkies, online retailer that sells a bunch of different backdrops and some other railroad scenery materials. This is actually It's titled the Feather River Mountain. This is actually the town of Quincy, but it's facing south, and in the real world this would be facing kind of northeast, but this is facing more southwest. But it's the same terrain, so it really matches up well. I got the lighting up. This is going to be covered by the valance. It's going to be down to about here somewhere, just below the lights there. I don't know if I'm going to use masonite or some kind of thin Luan plywood that is smooth and bends easy, because I have a curve here. I got it with a 45-degree brace right there that I've cut, but I'm going to bend the curve to kind of match the foam here. I haven't got any of the track glued down yet. It's just kind of laid out. That'll be the next step. I'll probably start gluing track down tomorrow. I just had to get the lighting done and everything, because the room lighting in here is just so horrible that, especially when you have a window open during the day and the sunlight's coming in, you can't really see what you're doing when you're working in here. So now that I have the actual layout lighting done, it'll be much easier to work and see what I'm doing. So I'll start gluing the track down. These are lights from Home Depot. They're LED kind of shop light, or under cabinet lighting, I guess they call it. And what's cool about these is they have a setting with 3 different lighting temperatures on them. They have, right now this is daylight. I think this is 4,000 Kelvin. I'm not 100% sure what it says there. And it goes down to 3,000 Kelvin, which is a little orange, and I'm sure the camera will white balance to it, so you won't actually see too much of a difference like it would be in real life. And then the third setting is 2,700 Kelvin. So I think I'm going to keep it 4,000 for now, which is as close to daylight as these will go. But if I wanted to kind of tone it down or warm it up, I could set them all to 3,000, which matches better to the actual room lighting. So when I have the room lighting on and the layout lighting, you won't be mixing color temperatures. It'll be closer. So I have that option. They also have a 2-stage dimmer, so it can go to half, which you probably won't notice because you got the other lights on full, and then back to full. Here's the number 5. It's pretty much complete. I got it painted, got the handrails and everything done. I'm just waiting on a ESU decoder, sound decoder, to put in it. So the shell's just sitting on there right now, because with these newer Walthers SW models, the actual bottom part is die cast and the upper part is, the actual shell part is plastic. And once you get it on, it's kind of a real pain to get them back off. So I haven't put it all the way down or snapped it down until I have the decoder mounted in there. There's a few other things like cut levers I need to put on it, and brake pipe, brake hose on either end. But other than that, it's pretty much done. And I just gotta put the little F decal for front on the frame there, and clear coat the bottom part to seal the decal. The top part's already clear coated, so the shell is already pretty much complete. So I've kind of got the track laid out in the general track plan. Down here, this is kind of the town of East Quincy, representing the town of East Quincy. These are some structures that my mother had made probably decades ago from probably some kits. I'm not sure exactly what kits they are, but she made them, or she built them probably 25 years ago. I know they've always been around the Christmas tree every year since I was pretty much born, so they kind of fit the Quincy feel here. And once I get pine trees and some roads in there, it'll all match up. Over here will actually be the mill site. I've got Pike Stuff engine house this is the 2-stall engine house. I modified it to be a 1-stall and kind of shortened it because I didn't need the full length of it, just one locomotive's in there at a time. Right here is what will be the Quincy Railroad number 12. This is a Pacific Northwest Resins SW7 shell on a older Proto 2000 SW 8, 9, 1200 chassis, and that I will pretty much be giving the same treatment as the other one, only this one will be easier since it's a one-piece resin shell, so I'm not dealing with a whole bunch of different parts that are made out of different materials. And there's a whole photo etched sheet that comes with all the parts for this, so I'll be putting that together once I'm got time to go back and work on equipment. It's not exact to the match of number 12. The cab windows, the front cab windows, are just straight across, whereas number 12 has the older style like the SW1s where they're kind of arched with the cab roof. I don't know if I'm going to modify that or I'm just going to live with it, because it's at this point you can't take the cab off because it's all part of the shell, so it's not like I could swap it out for a SW1 cab or try and cut that away very easily. So I might just live with it. I don't think too many people are going to notice except me. This closest track is going to be the loading track. This is going to be all paved over here. This is where the center beams will come in to get loaded and then pull out. I think it'll be a 3-spot, so it'll be 3 center beams, and then there's a little crossing right here. This is a kind of a drainage channel for a creek that goes under the track here. You got a microengineering number 5. Oh, this is a 5A or 5B switch. This is a more recent release. For the longest time they only offered number 6 turnouts in HO scale, but lately they've offered a lot more in their yard ladder series. So this is a number 5A or B. I'm not 100% sure. One of them is just an angle, so it goes out like a traditional switch, and the other one is actually a curve on the diverging route through the entire switch, and this is the one that has the curve on the diverging route to the entire switch. So I wanted to just kind of get that curve going quicker because it's got to curve around into this track. And there'll be 2 little I-beam bridges that'll go across the channel here, supporting the tracks like you saw in my previous video, the Google Street View shot I got of them. Down here there'll be a spur track that comes off here and will kind of end right up here before the switch. There'll be a grade crossing right about where the last center beam was sitting right here, grade crossing, and that's where it'll terminate right there. This track here where these 2 center beams are sitting, this is the runaround. It'll be a 4-car runaround. It'll start. There's a switch right under number 6, switch right under where the center beam is. It'll come out to here, and then there's a number 6 switch right here, and the tail right there for the runaround. I'm thinking about, I'm going to change the track plan here before I glue anything down. I'm going to add another switch, probably just after this switch, the other direction, that's going to come out here to another spur track in front of the main where the number 5 is sitting, and it'll come out here and either dead end at the backdrop or it will dead end around where the switch is. The reason I'm doing that is when I really looked at the track plan, there's not really a reason to have the runaround other than to get locomotives from the locomotive house to the far end of the cuts so they can switch facing point into the various tracks here. And I figured I should give at least one other reason for locomotives to use the runaround here, and that's to have a spur track leading off the other way that they could switch, which I don't know operationally how I'll use it. I might use it to kind of simulate the interchange, since I'm not modeling Quincy Junction here. Quincy Junction to be another 2.5 miles or so that direction into the backdrop. So I might just use that as kind of a track to represent setting loaded center beams out for the UP and then bringing them back in as empties. And the empties would normally be stored on the runaround or here in the spur track. So as I go along, I'll kind of think about it, the operational flexibility. I kind of wanted to keep this layout as true to the actual track plan as possible, which is pretty simple, but I've had to change a few things, and adding that extra track might just make it a little bit more interesting as far as operations are concerned. Well, other than that, still working at it. Hopefully in a week or two I'll have the track glued down and wired up and be testing it. So that's the next step. I'm really happy with how the backdrop and the lighting turned out. Thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, comment. We'll see you next time.